Okay, this is not a drill. The United States federal government has officially shut down again. But this time, it's not about a wall. It's not about the debt ceiling. It's about your health care. And the people who are supposed to fix this, they left the building last night not knowing what happens next. This is the first government shutdown since 2019. And if you think this is just another Washington drama, think again. Because this fight could decide how much you pay for health insurance next year. Yeah, this shutdown is about you, your premiums, your paycheck, your national parks, your airport security lines, all of it. And Donald Trump is using it as a weapon to permanently shrink government programs Democrats care about. So let's break down how we got here, why both parties are pointing fingers, and what's actually at stake while 750,000 federal workers sit at home unpaid. Here's the headline. On September 29, 2025, Congress failed to pass a funding bill. Midnight hit, government lights out. Why? Because Republicans wanted a clean 7-week extension of current spending. Democrats refused unless Republicans agreed to negotiate on extending enhanced Obamacare subsidies, the premium tax credits that make health insurance affordable for millions of Americans. Those subsidies started under Biden's COVID rescue package in 2021. They were extended once, and they expire at the end of this year. If they go away, premiums jump 75% on average in 2026. That's not a typo. 75%. 24 billion people use those subsidies. That's the population of Florida. Imagine Florida's entire population suddenly seeing the insurance costs nearly double. So Democrats said, no subsidies, no vote. Republicans said, no deal. Vote for the extension first, talk later. And Donald Trump is loving the standoff. He's openly threatening to use the shutdown to cut programs permanently. Let's talk about Trump for a second. As president again, he's running a budget office that's basically daring Democrats. Refuse our plan? Fine. We'll cancel the programs and make the cuts permanent. This is a hostage situation. But instead of one person in a bank, it's 750,000 federal employees, countless families, and your health care premiums. And it's working. Cracks are showing. On Tuesday night, 3 Democratic senators, Catherine Cortez Masto, Angus King, and John Fetterman, sided with Republicans. 2 more are on the fence. Republicans are running the same bill over and over, hoping more Democrats break ranks. Meanwhile, Schumer's trying to hold his caucus together long enough to force Republicans into real negotiations. Okay, what does a shutdown actually mean for you? 1. Federal workers. About 750,000 are furloughed. That's 400 million in lost wages every day. Imagine missing a mortgage or rent because Congress is playing chicken. 2. Essential staff. Air traffic controllers and TSAs still work, unpaid, which means longer security lines, more delays, and exhaustive staff guiding the planes you're on. 3. National parks and museums. Over 400 park sites could close. The Smithsonian and National Zoo stay open until October 6 using leftover funds. After that, good luck seeing pandas. 4. Social Security and Medicare. Payments continue, but state unemployment offices may run out of admin cash to process benefits. 5. Veterans. Critical care, crisis hotlines, and bureaus keep going. But GI Bill hotlines suspended. Headstone installation in cemeteries paused. This is the reality of a shutdown. People still need services. Some keep working without pay. Others get sent home. And the ripple effect hits the economy, tourism, and your daily life. Let's zoom in on the heart of the fight. The enhanced Obamacare subsidies. These subsidies expanded eligibility, helping low-income Americans afford plans and letting more middle-class families qualify. The result? Record enrollment. 24 million people in 2025. Without them, premiums skyrocket. Families drop coverage. Hospitals eat more unpaid bills. Insurance markets destabilize. So, when Democrats say they're fighting for healthcare, that's not spin. That's the actual math. Republicans argue they're just asking for a clean funding bill and negotiations later. But Democrats know that once the government's open, the leverage is gone. They lose their bargaining chip. That's why they're drawing the line now. Here's where it gets political. Every shutdown becomes a blame Olympics. Schumer is betting the public will blame Republicans because they're the ones blocking the subsidies. Republicans are betting Americans will blame Democrats because they are the ones blocking the funding bill. Poll after poll shows the public hates shutdowns, but who they blame depends on the narrative. That's why you're already seeing press conferences, angry floor speeches, and sound bites about madmen in the White House. Senator Sheldon Whitehouse literally said, "We have a madman in charge." That's not subtle. Meanwhile, moderate Republicans like Lisa Murkowski are hinting at compromise. She says we have to talk about an impending cliff. Translation, she knows the subsidies are a real problem, but doesn't want to look weak. And Democrats like Mazie Hirono are hoping GOP voters themselves start pressuring their senators once premiums spike. But premiums don't spike until next year. Right now, the pain is abstract. Federal workers missing paychecks, that's real. This isn't just about a week of political theater. Trump is openly talking about using the shutdown to permanently shrink government. That's Social Security offices understaffed. That's environmental inspections paused. That's veteran programs delayed. Once programs get cut, they're hard to rebuild. Ask anyone who worked at the EPA after previous cuts. So, this fight isn't a rerun. It's a test of whether Democrats can hold the line and whether Republicans can force through cuts under the guise of a temporary funding bill. Right now, the Senate plans to vote again Wednesday morning at the same GOP plan. Republicans will keep bringing it up until Democrats cave. If Democrats stick together, maybe a real negotiation starts on ACA subsidies. If more peel off, the shutdown ends but the subsidies die later. Either way, you're paying the price. And the longer the shutdown lasts, the more desperate federal workers get. The more airports starve, the more Americans lose patience. And here's why you should care. This isn't a distant DC squabble. Your TSA line on Thanksgiving, longer. Your cousin who works at a federal lab, furloughed. Your mom's Obamacare plan, 75% more expensive next year. And while all that's happening, politicians keep drawing their red lines on C-SPAN. The shutdown is leverage. It's a negotiation tactic, but you are the collateral damage. If you're frustrated, good. Call your senator, email your representative, tell them to stop playing chicken with your paycheck and your health care. Because right now, both parties are counting on you tuning out. This is where we are at. A government shutdown with no end in sight. A healthcare cliff about to hit. And a president who's weaponizing the chaos to shrink government permanently. This isn't politics as usual. This is a live experiment in how much pain Americans will tolerate before Congress blinks. I'm Mazhar Ali, and this has been your deep dive on the shutdown no one in Washington wants to own, but everyone in America will pay for.